All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Thursday, November 4th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your full Friday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by HockeyPicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. Follow us each and every day right here at HockeyPicks.com. Or if you're going to use bballpicks.com, you can follow some of the top pickers right here at bballpicks.com. In fact, let me go to HockeyPicks and bballpicks. If you go to our top scorers, let's take a look, see who's leading the pack right now at bballpicks.com. And we got Eddie O from Montreal leading the pack at 923. He's been leading now for a couple of days. Ovens beat Michael here. Michael B. Ovens at 819 is in second place. And Ron Raymond, yours truly, third place, 768. And those are your top pickers right now at bballpicks.com. Let's take a look at Hockey Picks. And let me, going to have to log in right here. Let me do that right here. And we'll log in at Hockey Picks. There we go. And let's take a look at our top scorers right now at Hockey Picks. We got a new leader. Harold Lakin is at 957. And when you click on the pick, you can see their strategy that they use, right? And Harold, you can see that out of 100 picks, 95 of his picks are in the 51 to 54% range. 55, 62%, 3-0, 63 to 72%, 1-0, and 73 to 100. And that's the way you do it here at hockeypicks.com. And you know what? It's good money management. It's, this is the perfect example of my action investment and my sports betting investment if you use that strategy, right? If you look at Harold's pick, 95% of his last 100 picks are from the 51 to 50, 54? Yeah, 54% range. So that tells you if you're betting beer and pizza money picks on Harold's selections, you're hitting at 57%, which is really good. So, again, I think there's a lot of value into the money management system here at the Raymond Report, the action investment and the sports betting investment, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. All right, I want to say good morning to Plays and Parlay. He's the first one in. How you doing, Plays and Parlay? Peyton Sports Girl, hey, waking up early there on the West Coast. Good morning, Peyton. Plays and Parlay, 4-1 yesterday. I needed that, he says. Miss Denica's in the house. Good morning, Miss Denica. Sniper's in the house from the Peg. How you doing, Sniper? And there's Telly. Telly's in the house. Good morning, Ron. It's the network. How you doing, network? And thanks for tuning in each and every day right here at the Raymond Report. All right, we got a good show for you guys here today. We know it's College Football Thursday, and it's a show we dedicate mostly to college football. And if you are looking for the NBA and NHL forecast, I did early videos this morning. So if you go on our YouTube channel, look for the free NHL picks, free NBA picks. I gave the system picks, and it's all right there. And we'll do a bit of a Ask Me Anything at the end of the show. All right, we're going to do a bit of horse racing. We always kick off the show with some horse racing. We're going to do the SBI, the MVI. SBI stands for Sports Betting Index. MVI stands for Market Value Index. And we take a look at what's come in the last couple of days. We're going to look at the top college football teams straight up against the point spread. And also Value Watch. I've been doing this the last 3 weeks. And what I do is I take the top 25 teams from the AP coaches poll and the top 25 poll, and I let you know how they did last week against straight up, and the teams that you want to watch in the top 10, because anytime you're on the top 25 ranking at this time of year, you got that big bullseye on your back, and everybody's going to be gunning for you, because right now everybody's jockeying for a good bowl game. And we saw this week, right? The FBS came out with their ratings, and some people think Cincinnati got a little bit shafted. But the thing with those FBS rankings, you got to play in a good conference, right? If you play in a conference that you play Tulsa and you don't play the top contenders, well, you're going to be subject to scrutiny, and that's what's happening with Cincinnati right now, right? So, all right, what else we got on deck here? We're going to do the law of average pick. I know that's been pretty popular the last couple of weeks. And then we'll do the computer system forecast. We'll break down that Thursday night game between the Jets and the Colts. And then we'll do a short Ask Me Anything on anything you want. ATS calculator, the Rain report. And we'll break down some of the games for you guys here. GM, everyone, on a full Friday. Yeah, this is what we call our full Friday show, and it's Thursday, right? Don't you think Thursday feels like a Friday, but it's not really a Friday? So that's why we call it the full Friday here at the Raymond Report. Jess Miles in the house. How you doing, Jess Michael? Good morning. And so good morning, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a five-time champion handicapper based here out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. The old crazy Canuck above the 49th parallel. And we do this each and every Monday to Friday, 10:30 Eastern. I try to get here on 10:30. That's my goal, right? Is like I tell you guys all the time, right? I mop the floors, I close the lights, and I do security at night here. So I try to get everything prepared for the show. In fact, I try to prep it the next day, though. Yesterday in the afternoons. Normally in the afternoons I try to show prep for the next day, but sometimes when you're very busy, it's life gets in the way, right? But we do have a good show for you guys here today, just like we do each and every day. And the objective of the show is to get you to the winner's circle at the end of the night. And if you are new to the Raymond Report and you miss some of the today's show, don't worry, you can always get the replay on our YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel and type in Raymond Report, and once you get to our show or our page, just look for today's show for November 4th, and you will get today's show if you can't make the live show. What else we got here on deck? The objective, as you know, we everybody who plays here or bets every day comes for the information because we hope to get you to the winner's circle at the end of the night. And once you get to the winner's circle 3-4 times in a week, that makes you go to Cash Out Monday, and hopefully you can cash out on a Monday and take your money out of the sports book, because that's the goal, right? You don't want to be always putting in the money into the sports book. The objective is take it out, right? Just like a bank. The bank holds your money, but eventually you got to take it out, right? Great content, brother, says Jess. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate you. Unders in the NBA are still crushing it. Yeah, you know what? Talked about that this morning there, Plays and Parlay. The under is hitting at a whopping, 67% in the NBA so far this season. In fact, let me go right there now. 63%. Yeah, 67 on the 7-day average. So, yeah, you're right. The under has been cashing in. And if you are betting the under in the NBA, you are smiling like a butcher's dog, because you are going to the winner's circle at the end of the night. All right, what else we got here? So, again, if you are interested in some of my resources, in the month of July, I did some videos, 30 videos on my top tips from the book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets. And if you go to our YouTube channel and you look below the newest videos category, you'll see Ron's top 30 video sports betting tips, and you can get my top 30 tips that I've done in the month of July. We did a tip a day. Hey, a tip a day. That's say that 3 times, right? Tip a day. And you can get some good sports betting tips. And also, if you're interested in my book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, go to atsstats.com, go to tools, go to 50 Greatest Secrets, and right there's my book with 30 bonus tips, and you can get that each and every day right here at the atsstats.com website. Also, if you're into tutorials and you want to learn about the sports betting system, you go to ATS Tutorials in the Tools menu, and I got 18 videos. So if you want to kill a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon before football, you can see that right here. I got some good video tips and learn about the Raymond Report system. And also horse racing. We have a lot of horse racing tips, videos right here. If you want to, especially with the Breeders' Cup coming this weekend, right? If you want to learn a couple of ways how to bet the Breeders' Cup, one of my favorite ways is the Double Dutch betting system. And that is, let's say you take the jokers. I'll show you right now. So let's go to horses, and we'll kick off the show with Delmar. Speaking of Breeders' Cup, let's go to Delmar today. Oh, where's those tip sheets? Didn't I produce today's tip sheets? Let me go to this one. This will take me just 1 second. See, that's a good thing I keep everything open on this screen so I can generate the stats here. All right, where's Delmar? Delmar. Here we go. I thought I generated those stats here today. Maybe, all right. And let me take a look here. Let's go to, all right, should be generated now. So let's go to free tip sheet. Let's go to Delmar. Hopefully it's up. And there we go. Perfect. Ta-da. Right on there, right? That's how we do. That's how we roll here at the Raymond Report, right? All right. So the Double Dutch betting system, right? So okay, let me do the spiel first, and then I'll get and I'll show you how the Double Dutch betting system works. I think this is a great way if you're gonna bet the Breeders' Cup. This is one of my favorite ways to wager on horses. Now, look at the purse. Wow, it's serious weekend when your Friday race number 1 on Friday at Del Mar is a $72,000 allowance optional claiming race. 3:30 post time today at Del Mar. 1 mile on the turf. We are going to go 7-1-8 today at Del Mar. The number 7 horse, Big Claire. Hey, just like the Breakfast Club. Where's Gloria K? Gloria K not in the house yet. Hey, remember Claire in the Breakfast Club? That's what made me think of that. Number 7, Big Claire. Joel Rosario taking a ride here on Big Claire, the number 7 horse. 3-1 morning line. Number 1 horse, Secret Square. Cedillo taking a ride on Secret Square. The Secret Square is 8-1 morning line. And there's Taming the Tigress. Taming the Tigers. Flavian Pratt taking a ride on the 8 horse. Taming the Tigress. 5-2 morning line on Taming the Tigers. Now, here's the way I'm going to bet all the most of the plays this weekend at the Breeders' Cup. And what I do is I take the Joker selection right here. The Joker is our long shot / value play of the day. And you can see the odds on all the Joker, right? In race number 1, 6-1 morning line. Big Mama Sue. Hey, that was my mom's name, Sue. Hey, Big Mama Sue. That was hey, that's pretty funny. All right, Big Mama Sue with Kent DeZormo Jr. taking, or I don't know if he's Jr., but KJ DeZormo is on the ride right here. And 6-1 morning line on Big Mama Sue. Now I'm going to have to play that horse because that was my mom's name. So 6-1 morning line on Big Mama Sue. Love that name. All right, now the way I bet the Double Dutch betting system is this. Let's say you got a $20 budget and you put 10 to win, 10 to place on Big Mama Sue, the 4 horse, 6-1. At 6-1, if he comes in first, you get paid twice, and 6-1 might be a nice little payday. And if it comes in second, you get paid once. And this way, you're it's a good way to get paid if you're playing the Double Dutch betting system. Now let's take a look at some of the value play. 8-1 here in race number 2. 6-1 in race number 3, 9-5 in race number 4, 8-1 in race number 5, 30-1. Look at that, 30-1 in race number 6. In race number 7, 7-2 morning line. Number 8 horse, the 8th race, 4-1 morning line on the 11. And see, that's what I love about the Joker. It's not always like 3-2, 5-2. You get a 15-1, a 30-1, a 7-2. So it's all over the place, right? So good way to wager on the horses. It's called the Double Dutch betting system. And again, if you got a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the horse that you like. This way, if he comes in second, at least you get paid once, right? All right, that is the horse racing play of the day for the full Friday, November 4th. And again, if you want the entire tip sheet today for Del Mar, go to ATSstats.com, go to tools, go to horses, go to free tip sheet. In the tip sheet menu, look for Del Mar, and that is today's free tip sheet of the day. All right, let me see what we got going on here. I'm good, Chip. That's the greetings. Morning. Does the purse amount factor in showing race to bet? Higher purse races? No, it doesn't. I had a feeling unders would come back into effect, says Isaiah Moore from Minnesota. How you doing, Isaiah? All right, let me see here. What do we got on deck here? So we did the horse racing. All right, let's go to the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And if you tune in each and every day, we talk about the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And this is my Dow Jones Industrial. When you're looking at the stocks, you're looking if the Dow is up or down on the day. This is the same type of concept that we do with the different sports betting markets, right? So if you look right now, last night in the NBA, we had 11 games. 8 of the favorites won straight up and covered 7 of those games, right? 7-4 against the point spread. But look at the unders last night, 2, 8, and 1. No wonder everybody's all happy in the Breakfast Club. There's Gloria K. You miss Claire, the horse Claire from the Breakfast Club there, Gloria K. I gave you a shout out there this morning. All right, so let's take a look here. And the 7-day average, 71.7% of the favorites have cashed in the NBA the last 7 days. Look at the unders, 67.3 and 63.3 on the season. So again, if you're betting, now here's the thing, right? Unders are coming in at a high clip. Now, what goes up must come down. And, people today, what do you think is going to happen? Everybody's going to say, oh, everybody's talking about the unders. So let's all go bet the unders tonight. What's going to happen? It'll be like 5-0 to the over, right? You know what's going to happen. It always does. Hey, that's the karma that the over-under karma that bites you in the butt. But what you want to do, anytime you're in a bearish or bullish market, totals straight up. Well, not straight up as much as the as the point spread. But anytime for me, anytime like the over-unders or the point spreads are in a bearish or bullish market, I'll scale down my units and I'll go from 1 to 2 units. But if we're in a neutral market like this in the yellow, then, fire away 1 to 5 units and pick your spots, right? Pick your spots. Like I always said, you got an action investment, sports betting investment. If you watch the beginning of the show, go look at Harnett, the way he does his hockey picks. I think that's a very, very smart way. And I'm hoping he bets like that, because he, out of 100 picks, 95 of his picks are between 51 to 54% in the confidence level. That means the beer and pizza money picks. Then those 5 other picks are 5-0. If he's betting, say, 5 units on those picks, guess what? He's making a lot of money, especially at 57%. Man, Harnett's doing it the right way. And this is what, what's the Rain Report's all about, right? You learn these little tips from, hey, I've been doing this 24 years. I see something like that from Harnett. I'm like, you know what? It validates what I always believed in, right? The action investor and the sports betting investor, and you can't be betting the same amount on every game. It's just it's not proper business etiquette, or not etiquette, but proper money management system, right? That's what I think. All right, let me see here. What do we got going? Pretty everybody having a good day on a Thursday in the Rain Report here in the bullpen. All the ramblers and gamblers are tumbling in with their Starbucks, their Dunkins, and their Tim Hortons, and maybe McDonald's. Hey, are those the top 4 coffee shops that are our go-to? I would say that's about 90% of the market right there. Tim Hortons in Canada, McDonald's, Starbucks, and what else? Dunkin', right? Hey, the America runs on Dunkin'. That's their trademark. All right, let's take a look at the NHL and see what's come in the NHL the last couple of days. And let's take a look at the last 7 days in the National Hockey League. Last night, 2-2, 3-1 to the over. And puck line, 1-3 on the puck line. I had the Kings Predators puck line last night, but Nashville did not pull through. I liked the Kings last night. Remember I said LA? I said St. Louis is, quick start, but they were fading. They're fading. Astros still crying, raining here in Atlanta. Says, hey, is a parade day today there, Mark? Is today the Braves parade? Hey, don't be crying on their parade today. All right, let's take a look at the NHL. 67.4% of the favorites have cashed in the NHL the last 7 days. 32.6% to the underdogs on the season. Pretty much neutral, very neutral. In fact, when you look at the favorites in the NHL, 55% of the favorites winning straight up. Now take a look at this. Let's do a little exercise here. So we got NHL, which is mostly based on, sports betting is on money line, right? So think of straight up, and the NBA is mostly on the point spread, right? Let's ask ourselves. So we're talking about parity, right? Parity in sports is very it's the topic du jour, right? It's the thing that everybody notices the last, say, 7-10 years. A lot of parity in sports. How come so far this year in the NHL, favorites are winning at 55%, but when you go to the NBA, favorites are winning at a much higher clip at 70%, right? That's a 15% difference, and we're just talking winning the game straight up, right? So, some things that make you go, right? And what about the NFL? Let's take a look at the NFL straight up. 61.7. Okay, that's interesting. 61.7. And again, anytime you do these type of exercises, there's, the hamster starts rolling in the wheel, right? And it's all about, when I'm looking at the NBA, if NBA games are hitting at a 70% clip, if you are betting the money line, out of every 10 bets that you make in the NBA straight up, you're winning 7 of those bets. Now, you pick and choose those games. Like, obviously, I'm not going to lay $800 on the Lakers to beat Houston or something like that, right? But maybe it's a little exercise I got to do on certain money lines, right? Like minus 120 to say, what's the most you'd want to lay on a basketball game? Maybe 200 if you really feel good, and and that's the max, right? There's no way I'd recommend minus 200 every day. It would have to be a game where I feel like 100% confident in that, right? But in money line, I'm very comfortable from minus 110 to about 160. 170 we start pushing it, right? But no, interesting little observation right there when it came to the money line between all these sports. How about college football? Let's see what college football is about right now. 72.3%. Wow. So yeah, so there's something to maybe something to chew on there this afternoon when I do more of my research, and I'll be looking at that. All right, let's take a look here at the market value index. And what's up, Ron? Says, I'm betting doubles with money lines in NBA, having a good result. I've got this tip from you. Good luck from Brazil. All right, Joa. Hey, Joa Della Torre. Yeah, you know what, Joa? It's there's something there. There's something there. And the thing is, think of it this way, Joa. Let's say you're going to bet the point spread, right, in the NBA, and then you see these two money lines. Like, okay, why not just do a two-team parlay on those money lines? And, it's almost the same thing when you think about it, right? Because in the point spread, unless you're taking the underdog, if you're taking the favorite, you're still, there's two options. You got to, two clearances you got to pass, right? You got to win straight up, and you got to pass the spread. So there's two things you got to achieve right there, right? But in the money line, if you do a two-team parlays, and I've done this in baseball a lot this year. That was one of my formulas this year in betting baseball, two-team parlays. And it really, and when you do like 3-4 games of two-team parlays, at the end of the day, you do have a bit of success if you're picking the right teams, right? But sometimes you look at a two-team parlay, you can't be falling in love with favorites all the time, right? And a favorite, an underdog, two underdogs, and this is why you got to watch the markets. You got to see what's coming in, and this is why I do this each and every morning, right? I do the SBI, and some of you guys might be going like, why is he doing that every morning? He goes to the SBI because it tells you when you should be betting. First, number one, it tells you what's coming in, and number two, it tells you if you should be betting 1 unit to 5 units, right? And it's the market, right? It's like right now. If you're buying into stocks or you're buying into crypto, you got to, there's good days to buy cryptos and there's bad days to buy crypto, right? Like right now, if you're buying in crypto, and if I look at the markets in crypto right now, you see that Bitcoin is pretty much stable. Ethereum is stable. Shiba Inu is going down. Now is a good time to buy, buy low, sell high, right? If you're buying into Shiba Inu right now would be a good time, but it probably has another leg down. Solana, but that type of mindset, right? And the thing is, if you start following the stock market, the crypto markets, and you start, incorporating that mindset that you've learned in stock market and the crypto, then you can incorporate those type of practices into your sports betting, right? So I think that is at the end of the day, what's it about? It's about the Benjamins or the McDonald's if you live on this side of the 49 parallel, right? That's our Sir John A. McDonald's. That's on our $100 bill. I know you guys got the Benjamins. I think I'm sure my good fellow Canadians will let me know if it's the John A. McDonald's on the $100 bill. I hope it is. Current market trends are more accurate than trends that go back several months. Things change quick. Absolutely, Isaiah, and that's why we, current market trends. That's why we look at this every day, right? So look at this on the 1-day average and compared to the 7-day average. Look at the swing, right? 67.4 to 50%, and So hey, you know what? This is what I love. I love a healthy back and forth with the audience when we talk about this stuff, and we learn, right? Even at 53, you always teach an old dog a new trick. And we never stop learning. That's the beautiful thing about life, right? Always learn, and we help each other, right? And this is why all of us is stronger than one of us. All right, let's take a look at the NBA Market Value Index. So now we took a look here at the markets from a macro perspective. Now let's go look at a micro perspective per team in the macro environment. And let's take a look at which team. So I did a little video this morning about I compared I call these the fat cats, right? All the teams that are in the penthouse, right? And the penthouse is getting a little crowded right now in the NBA. And when I say it's getting a little crowded, I'm talking about how many teams we have now in the penthouse. And this is what I call the Bull Club, right? The Bullish Club. And right now, we got about 10 teams in the Bullish Club. And when I compare it to the NFL, now the NFL, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in the penthouse, the bullish teams. So this is why you always got to keep an eye on the market, because here's the thing, and I'll go back to my 10-80-10 rule, right? So if I go back to my 10-80-10 rule, remember I've said, and now I'm scared to quote Urban Meyer because of what's happening in Jacksonville. Hey, I'll just call it the coach's book, right? Coach's book. Buy the dip, says Bobby Hubby. Buy the dip, baby. Hey, all right. So going back to Urban Meyer's book above the game or above the line. Yeah, I think it's above the line of the book. And in that book, it says there's a 10-80-10 club, right? So this is supposed to be 10%, but yeah, when you look at the numbers, you got 10, but there's not 80 in the neutral, right? But when you look at a team or a league, I guess you can say, there's three types of teams in the league, right? You got your contenders, like your playoff contenders, like championship contenders, your neutrals, the teams that can go into the contender club or into the pretender club, and then you got your pretenders, right? So you got contenders, your neutral club, and pretenders right down here. Now, eventually what happens after every game, teams in the neutral pool could be going two ways. They can go to the penthouse or the outhouse down here, right? Hey, we'll call this the outhouse. So you got two ways to go. Teams in neutral and teams in the bullish club. Well, there's only one way you can go, and that's down, right? Because you're already in the penthouse. And if you look at the outhouse down here, teams that are bearish. Now these teams, the next step is getting to the neutral pool because you can't jump right to the penthouse, right? You got to really win your games to get into a bullish situation. Now, the way this works out, and when I talk about bearish, neutrals, and bullish teams, what comes to mind? Market psychology, right? And I'm not a Harvard grad. I didn't go to Yale. I went to the Canadian Military School of Communication, so that's where I got most of my education when I was younger. But you can see here that the bullish teams right here, there's always going to be a swap, right? Some type of form of swap where you got one or two teams that might go on a losing streak, get back in the neutral, and then teams in the neutral pool start getting the win, and then they make it to the bullish team, right? So there's always that balance, and what you want to do is look how many teams are in the bullish club, how many teams in the neutral, and then work out the percentage, right? And to me, and it's always about, you can't get too top heavy, right? Because eventually what goes up must come down, and what teams always in the bullish teams like here, they come with an overvalued price, right? If you look at the market value that I have on some of these teams, and this is just based on money line value, you can see here minus 220, minus 220, minus 110 Cleveland, right? Cleveland, minus 130 Dallas. That's because they just got into the Bull Club, right? So you see what I'm saying? That there's a type of money management psychology that comes with these teams, and that's the way I analyze the games. And again, the more that I handicap sports, the more that I realize that analytics do play somewhat of an important role, but I think market confidence and team confidence plays a more important role than the team that's 3-2 in their last 5. I think I was doing a bit of thinking over the weekend. And I'm saying, you know what? I think handicappers, gamblers, even maybe the sports books to an extent, we put too much emphasis on last 5, last 10 games, right? My buddy Ross told me a long time ago, Ron, the line will always tell you what's wrong in a game, right? Like, for instance, the Packers playing the Chiefs, right? No Aaron Rodgers. That line can go from -1 to -7 in a hurry. That line will tell you. It doesn't matter if the Packers are 5-0 in their last 10, right? With no Aaron Rodgers. But market psychology and the confidence level, that will I think has a little bit more weight than when you look at a team's last 5 games. And because the last 5 games doesn't tell you who they beat, it just tells you that a team's 5-0, but they could be 5-0 against 5 cupcakes, right? Like here, perfect example: 0-5, 0-5. But is it against the strength of schedule, right? Injuries. There's so much. Once you've done this, the Malcolm Gladwell book, is it called? Blink, or was it Blink or the other one, where you put in 10,000 hours, and then it goes, once you put in 10,000 hours into your trade, then things come to you quicker, right? And so tipping point, I think it was tipping point, I'm not sure, but yeah. So I think when you look at analytics and then you look at the daily market, this new tool that we built here, courtesy of help from my little friend there, Bobby Hubby, this here I think has a very lot of value when it comes to market psychology, and we broke it down by game, right? So, for instance, and let me see if I'm on track here. I see a shiny thing in the corner and get distracted, right? but market value index. So yeah, so here's a good way from handicapping point of view is instead of like breaking down the games from an analytics point of view, you also need to break it down from a market confidence point of view, right? Psychology point of view from the betting public, because teams can't win forever, teams can't lose forever, and everything has some type of value to it, attached to it, depending on the performance cycles of that team in the last, say, 5, 10, 15 games. Now, for instance, when I look at this NBA here tonight, and I look at the matchups, and this is, again, everything in green indicates that that team is bullish. Anything in yellow indicates that team is neutral. So from a market psychology point of view, you got to think, okay, you know what? The betting public's pretty neutral on the Boston Celtics right now, but on the Miami Heat, wow, this team is really on fire right now. And look at their value edge, their value index right here, minus 17. And that is, if I were to buy them today on the stock market, that's what I would recommend them. And you take this line and you compare it to the opening line, and again, you can see they're way overvalued. And look at the confidence level, 85%. So that tells me, you're playing with fire when you're betting the Miami Heat these days against the point spread, because eventually, they're in a really good cycle right now. But the only thing you don't know about these cycles, when a team's in a cycle like this, you don't know when the next loss is going to come. But the only thing you can control is how much you're going to wager on that team, and that's why money management has to play a huge, huge factor into the way you approach every day. And this is why I say to you guys, you cannot bet the same amount every day. And I know I'm repeating myself to the veterans here, but new people are tuning in to the very first time. Keep in mind, what goes up must come down, and you gotta have what I do is I have two forms of money management. I got my beer and pizza money, which I call action investments. And then I got my sports investment, and those are the bets that I wait and I pick my spots. And those sports investment wagers can happen between 3, 4, 5 days apart, right? Or maybe 2 weeks apart. But it just you got to pick your spot. And I'll give you a great example. If you look at Harnett right here, right? If I look at Harnett's track record, I know you guys can't see this because when I click on it, it doesn't show the pop-up menu. But you can see right here that Harnett, 54 and 41 in his percentages of 51 to 54%. That's what I call action investment. That's because Harnett is placing those picks with not a lot of confidence, right? He doesn't really believe that this can go either way. So I'm going to, if you've been following Harnett and you place like $5, $10 on his 51 to 54% bets, then you're hitting 57%. But if you're hitting his other selections, which are only 5 of them, and they're 55% to 100, he's 5-0. And if you just bet his highest confidence level picks and you pick your spots, and again, folks, when you're following people on b-ball picks, hockey picks, like look at this. This is on the hockey picks, the people I'm following, right? And I only follow Hot Pete. Hey, all my friends, how come you don't follow me? Because you suck. Hey, I don't know how to plainly say it, but you got to win. I don't follow losers. I got to follow winners, because as soon as I get in that trap of following friends, and this is why I say all the time, this is not a pick site where you win a contest and get a t-shirt and pick up the door prize on the way out. No, you got to win, because if you don't follow winners, you'll never win. And when I look at these guys, and I look at Canuck Down Under, look at his top play, look at the way he does his plays, 53, 52. Anything below 54, he's telling us, look, I like this play, I don't love this play. And that's what he's trying to tell you right there. But 59%, I love that play. That's what he's telling you right there. Same thing over here on Bash 15, right? 52, 55, 52, 52. He loves the Islanders and Bruins, but he only likes the rest of them. And our good friend Musco, same situation. Look at his level, right? 52, 53, 53. But he loves the Bruins. So here's a little tip tonight, guys. You got some of the top pickers liking the Boston Bruins tonight. But the bad news is they're playing Detroit, and the line's probably not going to help you, right? In fact, let me go to the line right here, and let me take a look at NHL. And go to matchup. Yeah, that's why they love him. Minus 278, right? But again, I wouldn't lay 278. But then again, here's the thing: not every day is a Picasso, right? I can't picture that. I can't paint you that perfect picture every day. That's why I call it Picasso, right? Is today a Picasso day? Maybe not. right? You got to wait for your Picasso days. That's what. Maybe I'll get another T-shirt done, eh? Today's a Picasso day. What do you guys think of that? All right, there you go. That's another Ron Raymond rant right here on the Raymond Report. But that's why you guys tune in each every day, right? Is hopefully we feed off each other, we learn off each other, and that you guys, anytime we do these type of spills and rants, please feel free to jump into the bullpen and counterattack or agree or just let us know. You know what? A spin-off, right? Here's another thing you can add to that idea. But so that's always good to have a good, healthy interaction when it comes to exchanging ideas, and that's why we try to give you the pearls, right? Time for some pearls, says Mitchell Watson. Good morning, bullpen. Good morning, Mitchell. All right, did I miss anybody on the good mornings? John X, I saw you, John X, sneaking in through the back door again. Hey, you're chatting up at the coffee boat there on the way in there, John X. All right, where are we on the timetable here? Market value index, we talked about that. And college football standing. All right, let's take a look at the college football standings. This is another good exercise. And again, it's just something to observe. It's like looking at the standings every day in the NHL, see who's in the first place in NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, college football. Let's see what's coming in the college football. And right now, so here are your top teams that are undefeated. Well, how come that's Cincinnati's 7-1, not 7-0? Thought I fixed that. Let me do a refresh here. And Cincinnati, okay, we'll get that fixed. Oklahoma 9-0, Georgia 8-0, UTSA, the Roadrunners 8-0, Michigan State, they got their hands full this weekend. After this game here reminds me, what game do I want to say? I want to say, remember Toledo, and was it Penn State? I want to say it was a Big Ten opponent. Notre Dame. Yeah, Toledo, Notre Dame. I think it was Toledo, Notre Dame. And I remember that game, and I said in the next week, Toledo played Michigan State, and Colorado State. And Colorado State won as a 14.5-point road underdog. Speaking of underdog, there's Rusty. Hey, just on cue, right? Good job, Rusty. And so this game here, Michigan State playing at Purdue, and we remember what Purdue did to Iowa after Iowa played Penn State, and I got a feeling that we might see a little bit of the situation here this weekend. I think Michigan State's in a very, very dangerous spot this weekend after an emotional win against Michigan last week, and those type of games, I'm sure the running back for the Spartan, Rogers, I believe it was, or forget his name, Rogers the third or junior. Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns. He had 5 touchdowns, and man, anytime you rush for 5 touchdowns and 200 some yards or whatever his, he's banged up. There's no way he's going into this game pretty healthy, right? And I think the O-line should be banged up. I think Michigan State, after a physical game against Michigan last week, emotionally, I think there's a good chance for a letdown. And I'd like to see the injury report because I got a feeling after a big physical game against your your state rival, Michigan, those are big physical games, right? So I think going into this game, they could be limping into this game as a 3-point favorite. Cincinnati 7-0, right? 7-0. Yeah, for some, who was the other team? That was SMU. That was the one I fixed. All right, so yeah, Cincinnati 7-0, and those are your only undefeated teams in the FBS teams. Oh, Wake Forest 7-0, really? I'm gonna have to do a verification check on this one. Or I got it right here. Wake Forest. Where's 8-0? So 8-0, not 7-0. See, sometimes when it says 7-0, if the line, like say Wake Forest played like a Division II school, we don't track non-line games. We only track line games, and that's why you're seeing that sometimes. All right, let's take a look at your top teams. Top 10 teams against the point spread. Syracuse 8-1. Michigan State 7-0. Michigan State here. Is it 7-0 or 8-0? Hang on here. 8-0. Sorry, it should be 8-0 against the point spread. Unless, you know what? Sometimes what happens, if there's a push, we don't show the push. We just show 7-0 and 1. San Antonio, the Roadrunners, 7-1. Liberty. You know what? Liberty is playing this weekend against Ole Miss. That's a dangerous game for Ole Miss. Nevada Wolfpack, 6-2. Oklahoma State Cowboys, 6-2. Washington Cougars, 6-3. Northern Illinois, I believe they lost last night, so 6-3. 6-2, New Mexico State, the Aggies. but 0-8 straight up. And Virginia 6-3. Those are some of your top teams against the point spread for week number 10. All right, what do we got on deck next here? Let's take a look. Let me see here. The next topic is top 25 teams. All right, so what I've been doing the last couple of weeks is I've been printing out the coaches poll and the AP top 25. And last week, the top 25 teams went 13-9. So, I said last week, we're anytime you get into November, now what do they call that upset? When you're spoiler alerts there, or when a team spoils another. There's a certain word that they use. I forget what the word is, but we're getting into this week of in the November where you got like probably 3 weeks left of meaningful football where teams are going to be jockeying to get into the top spot or win the conference, and a lot of these teams are going to be in dangerous situations. So last week, 9 teams in the top 25 lost. And this week, when I look at the top 25 teams, I'm only going to look at the top 10. And I think these teams are teams that have potential to get an upset this weekend. Purdue over Michigan State. I think Purdue is capable. Again, Michigan State, I went through the spiel. You know the situation. But I want to take a look at Navy against Notre Dame. I want to say that Navy always gives Notre Dame a good fight, and I'll just pull up that matchup right here. Where's Navy Notre Dame? Here it is, right here. Let's take a look at the last couple of years. I want to say this is always a competitive game, right? Anytime you play those service academies, all right, it was a blowout last year, 52-44, 24-17, 28-27. 41-24, 49-39, 38-34. All right, so there's some years that have been very competitive, and Navy's not very competitive this year. Looking at Navy's last game, 2017 against the Golden Hurricanes, 2027 against Cincinnati, right? A game where that was back and forth until Cincinnati opened it up in the second half. 35-17 against Memphis. SMU, 31-24. Now, we all know Navy got off to a really bad start offensively. In fact, didn't they fire their coordinator second, third week into the year? But I got a feeling this could be a dangerous game for Notre Dame. And Wake Forest, another team in the top 10. I think the Demon Deacons against North Carolina. Those are my bullseye games this week. But Michigan State, Wake Forest, I think they got big bullseyes. And Kentucky. Playing Tennessee, I think that's a dangerous game. Number 18, Kentucky at Tennessee. And Ole Miss and Liberty. I think those are teams, when we talk about Monday, the bullseye games, I think those are 4 teams that you really got to watch out for this weekend. All right, what do we got on deck next? We were talking about law of average pick. So this is something that I brought out about 2 weeks ago. And if we go to our law of average pick, how you doing, Mike? The GM, hey GM, says Mike S. How you doing, Mike? All right, let's go to college football. And what we do in this segment is, now, because every college football weekend starts with about 70 football games, and you're not going to handicap 70 games one by one, unless you're a pro and that's what you do for a living, or you got 18 hours a day to go through every game with a fine needle. This is, you always need a starting point, right? This is one of my favorite starting points when I'm handicapping games. It's a law of average angle. And what you want to do is you want to look for teams that won straight up and against the point spread the following week versus a team that lost straight up and lost against the point spread, because there's a law of average there. And from a market psychology, what do people do? How did that team do last week? Oh, they beat the crap out of that team, and that team lost, so they're going to beat them this week, right? There's that mentality there. Now, am I going to really solely base my decision on that factor? No. It's just an indicator, right? It's just one of the indicators that I string along, and the more indicators that you have into your system, then it helps you with your the end result. All right, so here I won't go through the games that I already played. I'll just start with the November 4th. So we got Boston College. That's one law of average play or indicator. Stanford, LSU, Michigan, Maryland. You know what? Let me give you the team they're playing. So let me start that over again. Boston College against Virginia Tech. Stanford against Utah. LSU against Alabama. I can see that. Michigan against Indiana. Indiana's a little disappointing, right, Tom Allen? We thought he was going to have a really competitive team. Penix, the quarterback, not really living to this year like last year. Sophomore jinx or whatever they call that. Maryland against Penn State. Penn State, a little disappointing. 5-3 on the year. And, the thing with Penn State, they're almost like a one-trick pony on offense, right? They got the number 5 receiver, and then not much after that on offense. Illinois against Minnesota. You have Oregon against Washington. North Carolina against Wake Forest. You got Arkansas, Mississippi State. Kansas taking on Kansas State. Louisville taking on Clemson. Georgia Tech against Miami. Mississippi against Liberty. I think that's a dangerous game for Mississippi in this one. Temple against East Carolina. FIU against Old Dominion. I like FIU this weekend. Florida State against NC State. NC State, one of our top plays last week against Louisville. UNLV against New Mexico. Southern Miss against North Texas. TCU against Baylor without Patterson anymore. UTEP against UTSA. That's a dangerous spot right there for UTSA. Oregon State against Colorado. And then Arkansas State against App State. And Missouri against Georgia. Missouri has not covered the spread in this last 4 games. All right, those are your law of average indicators for this weekend. And if you're looking for a starting point, that is a good starting point to look at when you are handicapping the games. All right, let's go to the forecast for this weekend. And then we'll do a couple of AMA, Ask Me Anything. Or no, the Thursday night game. Yeah, we'll do that Thursday night game tonight. How are we doing in time here? And 46 minutes. All right. Let me get a shot of whiskey right here. It's only water. Okay. All right. Let's go to college football. And let's get on with the show. All right. Let's go to November 4th. All right. The Raging Cajuns taking on the Panthers, Georgia State. We like, let me see here, UL Lafayette, 34-19. And we have the Cajuns with a 90.9% chance of winning. Now, if you're wondering, how do you get that percentage play? So what you do is, and I'll do this only for the first example, for the new people who are tuning in for the very first time. What we do is we take the teams, we take their situation. Now, when I look at the Raging Cajuns, they are a 13-point favorite. So any team in the past since 1996, that's a 10.5 to 13.5 home favorite, totals between 51.5 and 54, and they're coming off 2 straight up wins. All these teams in the past are 20-2 straight up, 13-9 against the point spread, 12-10 to the over/under, and that's where we come up with all these numbers right here. All right, let's get to the next one between the Hokies and the Eagles. Boston College, a 3-point home underdog. We got Virginia Tech 22, Boston College 20. And we got the, look at the chance of winning. Very, very balanced right here. 44% for Virginia Tech, 42.5% for Boston College. Utah taking on Stanford, minus 7.5. The over-under set here at 53.5. We have 30-18, and we have the Utes. Did you say Utes? Winning at 83.3%. And Stanford only have a 15.3%, but that's only based on 13 previous games out of their situation coming into the game this weekend. All right, Service Academy game here between Army and Air Force. Now, Air Force, a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under at 37.5. We got the Falcons winning 22-19, and that's Air Force. And 52.9% chance of winning compared to 40.6%, which seems about right. And we got Minnesota taking on Illinois. We got the Golden Gophers 28, Illinois 12, and chance of winning 81.5% for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. SMU taking on Memphis. We have, look at the total in that game, 70.5. We got SMU winning this one, 35-29. The over-under set here at about, let me see here, 64. So we do like it to go under. 75% chance of winning for SMU based on 36 games in the system. Liberty taking on Ole Miss. Wow, look at that. 32.9 for Mississippi, 32.1 for Liberty. 53.8% chance of winning, however, favoring the Rebels. They only got a 38.4% chance of covering the spread. And let me see here. And 60% chance for Liberty. So we do have Liberty in a good situation here to cover the spread. And look at the forecast, 32-32, pretty close. I know Liberty's in a really good spot this weekend, and you're getting 9.5 against Ole Miss. All right, Pittsburgh taking on the Duke Blue Devils. Now, Pittsburgh, 21.5-point favorite, 39-19, and we have 88.8% chance of winning for the Panthers. Louisiana Tech against UAB. We got the Bulldogs losing to the Blazers, 31-20. 63.1% chance of winning for the Blazers, 26.3% for the Bulldogs. And you can see right here, you can see on the camera. So I'll just give you the chance of winning. You guys can see that this here column is the point spread column, chance of covering. And this here is the Kogu, chance of game going under the total. So if you see here 63%, and you click on it, LS Louisiana Tech, and you scroll right down here, 7-12, and that's how we get to 63% right there. Just in case you're wondering, Georgia taking on Missouri, 51-10. Yeah, that's a blowout right there. 95.6% chance of winning. Miami taking on Georgia Tech. We got the Hurricanes winning this one, 34-29, and the chance of winning at 64 compared to 46 for the Yellow Jackets. App State taking on the Red Wolves. We got Appalachian State 48, Arkansas State 17. 100% chance of winning for App State, based only 11 games though. Temple taking on East Carolina, 34-21 for the Pirates, 96.5% chance of winning. North Texas taking on Southern Miss. We have the Golden Eagles losing to the Mean Green, 27-20. The over/under at 47, right on the number, right? But we do have it a hair over the total. 72.1% chance of winning for Texas, 36 for the home team. Texas State taking on UL Monroe Warhawks. We got Texas State winning 31-27, 63.5% chance of winning. Purdue taking on the Michigan State Spartans, and very, very close. Look at that, 25.8 to 25.7 favoring Purdue. And again, I think Michigan State's in a very, very tough spot this weekend from a handicapping situation. And look at the chance of winning for both teams. That's what you want, right? Yeah, you want, between you and the bookmakers, there's really no advantage when it comes to the analytics right here, right? Navy taking on Notre Dame, 32-14, 87.5% chance of winning for the Fighting Irish. South Alabama, Troy, we got the Trojans winning 26-21, and we have the chance of winning at 57.7. Middle Tennessee State taking on Western Kentucky, 42-22, winning by 20. So we got them winning and covering, but 85.3% chance of winning for the Hilltoppers. Colorado State taking on Wyoming. I don't know what's going on with Wyoming lately. They can't score on offense at all. 23-20 favoring the Rams. 60% chance of winning based on 95 games. Pretty strong. That's a pretty strong bet right there. But the thing that does worry me, though, is Wyoming hasn't scored at all in the last couple of games. So third game could be a charm for the Cowboys. Charlotte taking on Rice. We got the 49ers winning 25-22. Arkansas taking on Mississippi State, 31-23. And we got the Razorbacks winning with 75% and 75% against the point spread based on 12 games in the database. UCF taking on Tulane, 35-21. The chance of winning favoring the Golden Knights, 73.9%. We got this year is a good game. I get the impression that Auburn now is one of those teams you don't want to face right now. They just seem like a team that are a very dangerous team right now. Auburn Tigers, right? Big win last week, and taking on the Aggies, and the Aggies a 4-point in 24-22. I think Auburn. You know what? Let's talk about this on Monday. Auburn +4, I think, is a very, very solid play, and Bo Nix at quarterback, right? Michigan taking on Indiana. We've got 32-15. The over/under set here at 47, 48. So I'd like it to go under. 76.9% chance of winning for the Wolverines. 10.3% only for the Hoosiers. In fact, let me take a look at their record. 15.3 based on 95 games, I said? Right there. Look at that. 10-86, so 96 games. Not a good win percentage for the Hoosiers this weekend. Iowa taking on Northwestern. This is an interesting matchup. You know what? Fitzgerald in November, and his Wildcats are always going to play hard. I think this could be another dangerous spot. 22-14. So we got Iowa winning, but maybe not covering. And so that'll be interesting. We have 68.4% chance of covering for the Wildcats. Let me take a look at that record right there. It's a 5 p.m. start. That's an odd time for a game. 13-6 against the point spread, but 5-14. That seems about right. That scenario seems about right this weekend. Iowa 12.5-point favorite based on 19 games in the system. 5 p.m. start. That's you start in daylight, finish at nighttime. I never liked those games. Penn State, Maryland -10. Penn State got to figure it out on offense. 33-24, favoring the Nittany Lions. 73% chance of winning. We got the Ducks beating the Huskies 32-23. Texas, Iowa State. We have the Longhorns. Tough loss last week to Baylor. 29-27. Yeah, you saw Sarkisian's face at the end of that game. He was like, man, I know what Tom Herman's going through, right? And why did you get rid of Tom Herman? Hey, something, and we all know Texas, right? The reason why Tom Herman's gone is because the alumni, the perception is, or the rumors is, or if you read, is that too many kids in Texas are leaving the state to go to other universities, right? And the thing is, you always want to recruit out of your backyard. And if you can't recruit out of your backyard and your best kids and your best players are leaving the state, that's a major problem. And that's why Texas is not Texas anymore, right? Their best players are going to Alabama, LSU. They're going all over the place. 27-29. Wake Forest taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. 33-30, favoring the Tar Heels. Yeah, see my bullseye game. This is a bullseye game. I think Wake Forest is in a very, very dangerous spot this weekend, and we got the Tar Heels winning 33-30. And look at that, based on 111 games right there. Let's take a look at that for a second. Let's take a look at Wake Forest, and let's go down here. 111 games. So 54-55. Yeah, I can go either way. 55-51, 18-21, and 1. To the under. Wow. I don't know if that math adds up, but I'll have to take a look at that here. Oh, you know what? Maybe some of those games are not lined. That's what happens sometimes. I'll take a look at that after. All right, where was I? California against Arizona. 34-17. 84.4% chance for the Golden Bears. Kansas State taking on Kansas. We've got 38-17. Clemson taking on Louisville. 24-19. 68% chance of winning for the Tigers. 47 for the Cardinals, who lost last week to NC State. NC State right there, 26-25 against Florida State. That line seems a little funny, right? NC State coming off a big win at home last weekend against the Cardinals, and now 2-point favorite only, and 26-25. Got them winning by 1. The Buckeyes taking on the Cornhuskers, 44-27. Seems about right. 85% chance of winning. Wisconsin taking on Rutgers, 22-14, 73% chance of winning. Only 31% chance of covering the spread, but that's only on 19 games in the database. Baylor taking on TCU. We got the Bears winning 32-26. Big win last week. We'll see if there's a letdown spot here for the Bears after a win against Texas. 63.4% chance of winning. We have Oklahoma State taking on the Mountaineers, 26-20. 72% chance of winning. Now, West Virginia coming off a big win last week against, I believe it was Iowa State. And now, back-to-back games against 2 tough physical opponents. We'll see if West Virginia can go back-to-back home victories against good football teams, right? I don't know if they were an underdog last week, but if they were, I think they were a 6-point underdog, right? 6 or 7. So 2 weeks in a row, they're an underdog. 26-20 here, right there. All right, let me see here. Oregon State taking on Colorado, 32-18, favoring the Beavers. 81.8% chance of winning for Oregon State. Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, 39-18. Marshall taking on the Florida Atlantic Owls, 29-28, favoring the Herd. 54% chance of winning for Marshall, 50% for Florida Atlantic. LSU taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got a blowout here, 50-14 for the Crimson Tide. 100% chance of winning for Alabama. Tennessee, Kentucky, 28-25, favoring the Volunteers. I like Tennessee again this weekend. I've hit them a few times, and we'll see if they continue. I think the Wildcats are running out of steam right now. You got Old Dominion against FIU. I love FIU this weekend, 27-26. Boise State taking on Fresno. I saw somebody ask me something. Covers at home versus Boise. Lay the wood, says Ralph Nunziata. All right, here you go, Ralph. Fresno, 31. And who do you got? Covers at home versus Boise. 31-26. So we got them winning by 5. I don't think it's a woodshed game there, Ralph, but might be close. 76.1% chance of winning for Fresno State. But again, Boise State's not the same old Boise State, right? UNLV against New Mexico Lobos, 23-20. Utah State 37, New Mexico State 21. The Gators 36, South Carolina 15, and Texas San Antonio. And we already did that one, right? I don't know why it's there again. All right. So there you have it. That is the Ram Report today for a college football. And before we go, we're going to do NFL for tonight. And that'll be a wrap for today. I was going to do an AMA, but we're getting right into our hour. So let me break down that game tonight between the Colts and the Giants. All right, let me take a look at the latest wire to see the injury report for tonight's game, NFL. So Carson Wentz, Taylor, Pittman, Pascal, Doolin, Doyle, those are your starting offensive players. Let me take a look at the depth charts. I want to see if there's any, I know White had his breaking out party last week. So we'll see if, we'll see if it was a one-game wonder type thing, right? Where's the Jets? New York Jets. Here we go. All right. So Wilson's out. So White, Flacco. Okay. Anybody else out? So I saw that Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is now with the Jets, but he's out. I still think he's working the hospitals. And so all right. So that is for the Giants. Coleman's out. So you got Carter and Johnson as your running backs. And for Indianapolis, let's take a look at the injury report for tonight. And Hilton's still out. Questionable, Quentin Nelson, the left guard. And then defensively, we're looking pretty strong. All right. So looking at the forecast, you know what? Let me do both here. Let me go back to I'll do the forecast and the team forecast. I want to see what the system forecast has on this game. So we'll go to NFL. I feel like my voice is running on fumes here. I can feel it. Based on 18 and 20 games in the system, our forecast 28-19. Wow, that's pretty tight, right? So we got them winning by 9. The spread is 10. 46.5 is the total. 85% chance of winning for the Colts. 22.2 for the Jets. 61.1% chance of covering for the Jets. 25 for the Colts. And 44% chance of going over for the Jets. And and 50% for the Colts. So a couple of pointers to the under right there. And let me take a look at the Rain Report computer pick to see what this one has. 28-15. So this one here has them covering. You know what? Let me take a look at some of the numbers here. 3 and 2. -2 is the value line, and +12. So we're not getting value here. They're overvalued here. Anytime I get this type of situation, an overvalued team against an undervalued team, chance of winning 80, chance of covering. You know, this is a tough game to handicap right here. It's gonna depend on White's game tonight, right? It's a bounce back game, and now that you got all this media attention, I don't think betting the side would be a proper wager to do tonight. And when you look at these, the Jets are 4-6, 4-5-1 their last 10 trips to the Indy, and in the last 10 head-to-head meetings, 6-3-1. What's the strength of schedule in the last couple of games here? 44-66. So the Jets more battle ready for tonight. 34-31, 13-54 against the Patriots. Now keep in mind this game was at home. This one was on the road. 27-20 against the Falcons. 27-24 against the Titans at home. 26. So you see on the road, not very good on the road. 0-4, 0-4, and that's why I won't touch the Jets and I won't touch the Colts. I don't like the the Colts with a 3-5 record. Look good, play good. You can't look good one game and not the next game, right? You're looking for consistency. But if we look at the consistency of home teams on Thursday nights, right, this year. Let me see here. This year, let me go to my database. Let me go to my database and let's bring out I want to see what NFL teams have done this home teams. Let's go to home teams on Thursday night this year. And the reason, Thursday nights, what Thursday night tells you, it's, teams on 3 days rest, right? That's what Thursday night tells me. Like it doesn't really, I don't care about the day of I care about the day of rest. Let me go Thursday. Where's my Thursday? There we go. All right, Thursday night, current season. And again, I want to see if there's a trend developing here. Any home team, 4-3, 2-5-1, 2-6. Yeah, see? Let me take a look here at the Colts. 17, week 9 since 83, 7-13 to the under. 4-6 coming off a loss. Any NFL home teams this year coming off a home loss as a favorite, 14, 24-1 to the under. After playing Tennessee, 4-13. Now, Colts played Tennessee last week, and they are 4-13 at home after playing Tennessee. And you know what? I think White on the road, at home beating the Bengals. Bengals were on a three-game road trip. That's the reason why they, it was a really bad spot for the Bengals. They were playing their third road trip third road game. I'll get that out there in a row. Look at all the unders pointing here. I'm leaning under so far. I don't know if it's going to be a strong play. I don't know if it'll make my beer and pizza money play. I know it won't be a premium pick play. I don't normally play Thursday night games, isolated games. It's just, you feel forced sometimes, right? You see these Thursday, Sunday night, Monday night games. You feel like you're forced to bet these plays, right? You gotta feel it, right? And I think I'm forcing this here, the under. But looking at, let me see, any line moves on the under this week? Let me take a look at the line move. So this line total opened at 46.5, and it's already come down to 45.5, right? So the under is where I'd lean here tonight. Under 46 says Gloria K. All right, let's go to the stats and trends, and then this will be a wrap for a full Friday. Pretty good show. What do you guys think? Good show today? Not bad? Hey, 1 to 10. Can I get a rating on the show today, a 1 to 10? Yeah, that's what we should do every day, right? Give me a rating, 1 to 10. This way, it tells me if I'm on the right path or if I need to improve. So if you guys give me a good rating, 1 to 10, what do you think today's show was? Hey, and we won't ban you. If you give me a 3 or 4, I won't ban you. Don't worry. Let's go to NBA. Let's see. All right, take a look here. Yeah, nothing on the over-unders or the point spreads that I really like here. All right, Detroit as a home team versus Atlantic opponent. Totals 215 to 220. 12-2 to the over. Lakers a home favorite last 3 years on a Thursday. 3-12 to the under. And look at that. Houston as a road team during the month of November. Total is 215 to 220. 10-2-1. And let me see here. Nope. Mitchell, NHL is done the other video. So on Thursdays, Friday, I don't do NBA and NHL. I always do the, because college football takes so long that the videos today are already out there. All right, let me go back to, it was always a great day watching the show. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Been changing my strategy. Been good so far. Other than last night was my bad, honestly. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? And me too, Isaiah, not doing well either, says Gloria K. All right, 10 says, and you guys are too generous today. All right, appreciate you. All right, let me see here. Yeah, Ottawa's playing Vegas. Now, Ottawa, puck line, maybe the puck line. When Ottawa's a home underdog last 3 years, and they're playing 3 games in 4 nights, 21-3. Now, if Matt Murray's in nets, I don't recommend Ottawa. Hey, I got a thing with Matt Murray these days. Ottawa at home versus a non-division opponent on Thursday, and they allowed 5 goals against in their last game. 10-1 to the under. If you like the Flyers tonight as a road underdog against a conference opponent, coming off a home win as a favorite, 9-2 straight up. Buffalo, if you like the under tonight as a road underdog, coming off a Western opponent, coming off a road loss as an underdog, coming off an over, 12-3 to the under. And let me look down here. Puck line, Montreal puck line, look at that. When the Habs are an underdog at home during the month of November against a conference opponent, 10-1 on the puck line. And Tampa Bay is a road underdog on a Thursday last 4 years, 12-3-1 to the puck line. So I think, you know what? Again, puck line, money lines, you got to start mixing in those type of weight. Like if you looked at last night, I didn't really like anything straight up in the NHL, so I went puck line parlay, right? 2 puck line parlay. I had Kings and Predators. Unfortunately, Nashville did not cover the spread. All right, that's the show here today. Man, I'm not getting a lot of love. I only saw a couple of people voting here. Hey, if I don't get any love here, I might have to change my strategy here. Hey, I'll have to change my strategy the way I do the show. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day. Don't forget, you can get the Rain Report each and every day right here on our YouTube channel. And if you're interested in my plays, NBA, NHL for tonight, you know you can get my premium picks right here go to Ron's Premium Picks, and you can see my top plays that I give out each and every day. Now, again, my NHL, and haven't given out any NBA Premium Picks yet, if you're wondering, is I'm still trying to get a good grasp of the NBA. I got somewhat of a good grasp, but I don't want to give out Premium Picks if I feel I'm not in the zone yet, right? I got to be in that zone where I feel like anything I touch, is Midas, right? The Midas touch. Gloria K. Thank you, Gloria. Too kind. All right, so you can see you can get my Premium Picks here every day, and with your membership, you can get your NBA picks or your NHL picks right here at the Rain Report. All right, guys, Maine's World. Appreciate you, Maine's World. Jermaine Brown. Hey, it's a Maine's World. All right, folks, have yourself a good lunch. We're going to lunchtime right now, and we'll see you back here on the Football Friday. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you all here tomorrow. Hasta la vista, baby. I'll see you back here mañana. Cheers.